videos in which he fiercely criticizes Donald Trump, analyzes international politics, and defends social causes with a maturity many adults would envy. Get ready to hear uncomfortable truths from the most unexpected voice. From a critical yet patriotic perspective, the young activist examines the historical and current relationship between the United States and Mexico. His message is clear and painful. "We stole land from Mexico," he says, "and yet they still help us in our times of crisis." A humbling lesson that hurts, but one we need to hear.
It's crazy how much Mexico helps us considering how much we screw them over. Because Trump threatened on multiple occasions that he was going to invade Mexico. Trump said he was going to build a $60 million wall across the border so immigrants could not get into the country. And then he said he'd make Mexico pay for it, even though it was his idea. Trump also added unnecessary tariffs on Mexico. Not to mention, in the 1800s, we stole a bunch of land from them. Don't say conquered. We stole it. And don't say I don't love my country. I love my country enough to hold them accountable for their own actions. We've done so much to Mexico, but who was there first during the Texas floods? Not Kristi Noem, not Trump, not FEMA, but Mexico. Who was there during the Californian fires earlier this year saving lives? Mexico. So I will not tolerate Mexico slander.
This young man's voice breaks with outrage as he describes prison conditions he considers torture. His account of food infested with worms, psychological torment, and hellish heat ends with a heart-wrenching plea. It's evil how many people celebrate this. As a society, we must be better. A teenager who still holds on to his humanity at a time when so many adults have lost theirs.
Okay, we need to talk about Alligator Alcatraz right now. Multiple detainees have come out saying that the conditions they were held in is subhuman. There are reports saying that the lights were left on all day and all night as a form of psychological torture so they couldn't sleep. The mosquitoes are as big as elephants. There's almost no water, and a detainee said they weren't even able to bathe themselves in the 4 days that they were there so far. And the most despicable part, they were only fed 1 time a day, and the food had maggots in it! Actual worms! They are in very hot weather with no air or anything else to cool themselves down with. It is evil how many people are cheering for this. I don't understand how you could treat another human being like this and go to sleep at night. How? That's so despicable! As a society, we must be better!
This teenager lists, name by name, the 18 women who have accused Trump of sexual assault and compares them to the number of transgender college athletes. His conclusion is devastating, and his question is uncomfortable. Why can this rapist hold office over 10 trans athletes who just want to live their lives?
If you still support Trump in August 2025, you're dumb, you're uneducated, and I don't want to be friends with you. Let me give you 3 things he's done earlier this week and last week that is an absolute deal breaker for any sane person. He cut cancer research just so he could fund a $200 million golden ballroom for his supporters. 2, both him and Epstein both said that their falling out was a result of Epstein stealing Trump's girls. One of these girls were named Virginia Giuffre, and she was 17 years old when she was raped by Jeffrey Epstein after he trafficked her from Donald Trump's spas. And you know what she was doing at those spas? She was hanging around with near-naked men. Why is a child hanging around with near-naked men? Trump literally admitted to human trafficking, and y'all still voted him into office. Sadly, in April this year, Virginia took her own life. And 3, Donald Trump brought up Lawrence Taylor, a accused and convicted sex offender, to reinstate the fitness test for kids. Guess who he raped? A 16-year-old. You support P3DOs! This last one's more Trump adjacent, so number 3.5. The FBI just redacted every single instance of Trump's name in the Epstein files so that we can't find them. So if it all came out, we couldn't convict him. Are we living in real life? Do you see this shit?
But the most shocking part comes now. This child does what many adult journalists don't dare: confront Donald Trump directly about Jeffrey Epstein. He calls him a liar outright and declares publicly, "If you still support him, I have absolutely no respect for you." Words that will cut like a knife for Trump supporters.
So Donald Trump just said, "I never had the pleasure of going to Epstein's Island." What? Okay, a few things. One, he's lying. And two, he's thinking about pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell, who is a confirmed child trafficker and a confirmed child pred. He knew his name was in the files since May. What are you talking about? I never went to the island. You clearly did. You were involved with Epstein for like 30 years. What are you talking about? He was your best friend. If you still support him, I have absolutely zero respect for you. If we just believed what the victims say, we wouldn't need a list to get justice. Trump is just being used as a fiddle for Project 2025. Even though both Vance and Trump have both publicly distanced themselves from Project 2025, their actions definitely speak louder than words. Because J.D. Vance wrote 90% of Project 2025, and Trump supports many of the beliefs held by Project 2025, and he pushes them forward. Many people don't realize that their big plan is to get Trump in the presidency, securing it for Vance, and then after Trump rattles everybody, divides the Republicans from the Democrats, they can just boot him out, saying that he's demented and that he's destroying the country unconstitutionally, just to get Vance in to start Project 2025 in. Project 2025, if it comes to fruition, is going to destroy our country, have us go back thousands of years, even though this country is only 250 years old. Wake up, America!
And while many avoid the topic, this 3-year-old speaks openly about Trump's illness and its implications. His coldness in analyzing a possible death scenario is chilling. It will be very terrifying because J.D. Vance wrote 90% of the document that will destroy this country.
Okay, Trump has this pretty common disease called venous insufficiency. It can be deadly or it can be just annoying. This disease leads to the legs swelling, causing blood flow not to go to the heart. Normally, I would feel bad if Trump didn't do all the stuff that he did. If he didn't take food away from sick children. If he didn't take healthcare away from millions of Americans. And if he didn't help only the rich in this country, I might feel bad for him. Trump's condition is not fatal at the moment. But if it does get fatal, it will be very scary. Because guess who will step up if Trump, dies? J.D. Vance. And J.D. Vance is the dude who wrote 90% of America First, which is just America 2025. The absolutely terrifying document that just destroys this country. It is terrifying.
We have just witnessed something extraordinary. A teenager unafraid to confront power, challenge established narratives, and stand up for what he believes is right, regardless of social or political consequences. This young person has given us a masterclass in civic courage. While adult politicians carefully calculate every word, while media outlets avoid controversial topics, while citizens remain silent out of convenience, a 3-year-old has raised his voice with a clarity that cuts like glass. His message goes beyond partisan politics. It's a powerful reminder that truth has no age limit, that justice doesn't wait for someone to come of age, and that sometimes children see what adults choose to ignore. The question he leaves us with is uncomfortable, yet necessary. If a 3-year-old can see so clearly what's wrong with our world, what excuse do we adults have for staying silent? His generation will inherit the consequences of our decisions today. Maybe it's time we started listening to them.
I want to add to this video, this kid has a bigger set than more than half of you grown adults out there who dance on eggshells, as I always say. You scary black folks, you scary people of color, you scary so-called non-racist white people who agree with people and have conversations where we're on your side, we're all in this together behind closed doors. I don't trust people like that. But for the people that do speak out, we're doing what we're supposed to do. But this kid is not just talking. He's making sense. He's speaking facts and truth. This is what racist white America fears. For white people to see the truth and speak the truth and walk around free of being racist and hateful towards anybody. Yeah, that's what they fear. That's one of their fears. And that's one of their biggest fears, because, hey, if we start to lose the kids, that's the next generation. They want to keep this going on. Just like slavery in the Bible, where you can own a slave of the nations and hand them down to your grandkids, and your grandkids own them until they, they no longer exist, own them forever. They want this, the thought. Do you know how hateful and evil these people are? The thought of America really being one. The thought of America moving together in unison. No, they don't want that. They want it forever to be white privilege, white racist people just rule and own and just conquer, divide and conquer and do whatever they want. That's what these people want. They don't want good white people to separate, to speak up and stand up against. So this kid speaking, it should make a lot of you and us, and I have to address my black people, because you are some scary motherfuckers. It's funny how you guys had so much to say about Umar Johnson. You have so much to say, when you hear something about some rap beef or anything dealing with black people, you will sit down and discuss how this person ain't shit. You won't say nothing about Donald Trump. You won't say nothing about this guy that just got smoked, this Charlie Kirk dude. No, anything dealing with real issues, you stay away from. But you have no problem focusing on celebrity life and shit that don't really mean anything. And this kid, you see, I could say word for word what this kid just said. Anybody of color, of course, these racists are going to come to defend their racist God. But it hurts them when it's white people speaking these truths. Because they can't call them racist. They don't ever care what they call us. They can call us racist. Well, fuck. It's always a racist calling someone racist. That's how this shit goes. They're the ones spewing the hate and the racism, not us. We're letting you know you can shove that up your ass, or we'll shove it up there for you. Because we're not going for that shit. This kid speaking. Everybody that speaks up and says something that's white, it pissed these racists off. And you know what? They look at you like you're white trash. You're traitors. You're not one of us. You're a nigger lover. That's how they look at you guys. But the fact that this kid has the gall to do what he did, I respect that. Because I watch you growing up sit there and tap dance, and you always want to have a smile on your face when you talk about these issues and want to play neutral. You don't want to go nuclear on a motherfucker. That's what I like to do. I like to go nuclear on a motherfucker. They deserve it. They deserve it. All of these felony accounts they had on this fucking guy. Like I said, and I'll say it again, before Trump's first term, when he was running for office, that motherfucker stood there and said, I could literally walk down the street with a loaded weapon and kill someone, and you guys would still vote for me. That's what he said. And he became president. Yeah. See, this is far more than just making conversation about these people. We need change to happen. We need to wake people up. And we need to do our best to make sure that the same thing doesn't happen twice. If you replace an asshole with another asshole, what was really accomplished, right? The sad part about America is there were different things where certain situations happened where people really thought there was about to become a turning point where we started to actually unite. And every time it even looks like something, there's a change somewhat. You know, there's people that starting to see things different. Nope. It always some racist son of a bitch want to get up. Why do you think they love going to these universities? Why do you think they always want to go where it's predominantly white people? Because these white racists want to speak and influence you to be like them. During the summertime, they had it was a college, it was a graduation. I don't remember, it was a college or high school. Might have been high school, I don't remember what it was, but I know it was, I posted the shit. And more than half of the graduates got up and walked out when this racist piece of shit started to speak. And of course, in the comment section, you got the racists. Oh, what disrespect. Oh, they could learn something. Yeah, they could learn how to be a fucking racist. They could learn how to be an asshole. They didn't graduate because of this piece of shit. So anybody, this wasn't Trump, it was another piece of shit. But bottom line, my point is, anytime something happens and a racist person do the things that they do, it's always, and understand, it's only racist people that's going to back them up. It's only coons. Yeah, you can be black and be racist towards black people. Yeah, you can. See, let's understand something. Prejudice and racism is not being displayed by the person who's standing up against the racist. The thing is, like I said, you don't know whose side people are on. And I'm talking about the side of right and wrong. Well, racists think they're on the right side because they think being racist is the natural order of things. We're in control. This is our country. That's their mindset. So when this kid is speaking, saying the things that he's saying, when other people that do speak up say what they're saying, it's necessary to expose these rotten fucking people. That's why anytime somebody come in my comment section and talk about, he never said that. Yeah, I post the fucking video. And you know what they do? They shut their bitch asses up because I shut them the fuck up. Or they'll try to move the goalpost. Well, what he meant? No, bitch, I heard what he said. It's like if I say to you, when I see you, I'm going to slap the shit out of you. Then I'm going to scoop you up and dump you on your motherfucking head. I'm not saying it because it sounds good for the camera. That means when I see you, I'm going to slap the shit out of you. I'm going to scoop you up and dump you on your motherfucking head. That's what it means. Oh, I didn't mean it that way. No, that's exactly what the fuck I meant. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. This kid has more common sense. He's not a genius. He's not extraordinary. No. What he is a human being that uses common sense. The problem is, adults are so fucking immature, so childish, and so ass backwards that it's actually refreshing to see a kid speak like that. Yeah. And it's good that he did what he did. Maybe he can rub off on some of you cowards. But like I said, for every fucking thing that I say, for all the points that I bring up, I can find, okay, and then it'll pop up somewhere. Okay, I speak from what I see, but it's always somebody white. And I reference white because it's always racist white people that get upset and get in their feelings like, I give a fuck. Good, I'm glad I pissed you off. Great. But it's always white people that support the same things that I'm saying. And then I'll post it. And then what happens? Yeah, they shut the fuck up. If you think that what this kid is doing is spectacular, it's out of this world, that only proves how many cowards are walking around here. And you're not used to seeing people do what this kid just did. And you grown adults, you don't even have the fucking heart, so to speak, to do that. You're not honest with anybody. You so-called Christians, you so-called religious people. Doesn't matter. Christians were rotten evil people anyway. Religious people were rotten evil people anyway. So when people say, but you're supposed to be a Christian, yeah, that's what they are. Let's not forget, the boat that they came and stole the Africans with, and captivated, kept them in captive with, what was it called? The slave ship Jesus. Let's not forget that. So anything that supports Christianity, anything that, I got Christians in my family, and I tell them I don't give a fuck about your religion. I grew up going to church all my life, and when I decided it was enough for me, I continued to study that Bible. I ripped it apart. I dissected that motherfucker, and trust me, I know I have no parts of what they believe, what they want us to believe, and that's the problem with black people. As you motherfuckers are still walking around here trying to be religious, believing in some shit that don't work for us and never have. And it never will. It doesn't work for anybody. Your brain tell you it does, but it doesn't work for any of us. Not one fucking human being does it work for. Your brain tells you that. And I see people out here suffering, always looking up to the sky, begging for some fucking, for money, for a better job, to be able to relocate, all this kind of shit. And these things don't happen, and what starts happening is the prayers aren't working. They start to get scared. They start to worry. Things in their life are falling apart. They start turning to drugs and alcohol. They commit suicide. All types of shit happens. And here's a guy who says we can't have all these homeless people out here in D.C. What does that look like when I'm, closing business deals and all this and that, and I bring people here and they see all this homelessness and going right out here at the White House. Yeah. This the same guy that was talking about sending inmates to other countries. Now he look at you like you're a scumbag, like you're lower than human. So yeah, I'll send you where you belong. You don't belong in America. Yet you guys want to make heroes out of these racist scumbags. But kudos to you, kid. You got more heart than these fucking coward grown adults out here. And that's black, white, and whoever else. This right here, I'm going to continue to do. Oh, and I got some more for your boy, for your boy Charlie Kirk. Oh yeah. Yeah, he like watching death, right? Yeah, I got something for you motherfuckers. Don't you ever fucking come telling me, oh, he never said that, you bitch made motherfuckers. Cause see, unlike you motherfuckers, I'm not a liar. And I got the receipts. So y'all done fuck with the wrong one. And I'm expose you racist, evil motherfuckers. One thing about racist people, they're easy to fucking beat. And they're easy to fucking expose. Because they're nosy and they're hatred. They're so filled with hatred and prejudice, racism, they can't mind their business. And they always want to defend scumbags. His family deserved better than that. So did George Floyd's family. And y'all didn't give a fuck about him, and I don't give a fuck about his. And you want to know what? When you support a scumbag and a racist, it's like right arm, left arm. If I'm going to destroy your physical anatomy, I'm going to destroy it. I'm not sparing nothing. So bottom line, you guys are joined together as one. Well, he should have thought about all that shit before he ran his mouth. You see, clearly he thought he was untouchable. Yeah. What goes around comes around sometime, don't it? And when it does, racist people can't never accept it. They'll never change from who they are and what they are. And they're going to die miserable, old, bitter sons of bitches who basically just want to see corruption and want to see anybody suffer that don't look like them. You're not better than anybody else. You motherfuckers are sick in the head. You think you're normal people? That's the funny thing about you. You actually think you're normal people because you're racist as fuck. We laugh at you. You're a bunch of clowns. But ain't no jokes over here. We'll fuck you up. Real ones. Talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. And I will catch you on the next video.